everybody, I'm James Gunn. Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing.
This is what I am most excited about. I honestly will tell you right now. So this film will investigate the dark origins of the Swamp Thing. Not only am I fucking excited for a movie featuring the avatar of the green, Eli, who has become one of my favorite comic book characters, DC characters. Also, just the idea that they're doing an origins, because I don't think that show, the new show, did that character justice. I think it did some justice. I just don't think in terms of the origin, they really needed to simplify his fucking origin. It's just Alec Holland, scientist in the swamp, wife gets killed in the accident. He doesn't. What is surviving is just his DNA, which goes into the green, making him the Swamp Thing and the character we know. If you're new here at the channel, please consider subscribing on YouTube. Click that notification bell. So I just think they really, if you streamline that into a fucking horror movie, done. James Gunn.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn.
Troma background, which shout out to my former internship, Troma, to my people over at Troma. And it's just amazing that I watched a dude announce an entire DC slate who interned at the same place I did in Long Island City, Queens at Troma. And his poster was up on the wall, Tromeo and Juliet. Because they, Troma does all the Shakespeare spoof movies. He did, that's one of their biggest ones. And Tromeo and Juliet is on the wall at Troma when I would walk in there every day in my internship. Pretty nuts. And yeah. So what do you think, Swamp Thing?
I'm excited for it, and I think like I said, I think Superman is where he's gonna have to craft most of his attention.
Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me.
I would really love, because is James Gunn writing this movie, producing this?
Unclear. A rumor likely to be true is that Guillermo's gonna actually direct this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that was a big rumor, if you remember, almost a decade ago at this point, about Justice League Dark, helmed by Guillermo. So they're talking about, don't quote me on this, but apparently it was James Gunn himself who tweeted to Guillermo or some shit like that of point is, it's likely Guillermo might do it.
Okay, because I was going to say...
Which, by the way, Guillermo is one of my, especially recently, the past 2 years, that fucking Nightmare Alley movie got me back into... I will follow that dude again to the green hell. But
yeah, dude. No, I was just going to say, if this was going to be a Gunn movie, it would translate really well in his style, but Guillermo, that'll be, amazing, like a home run. And Swamp Thing has really built this, this cult, this real strong cult following, at least with newer readers. I know that he's an older character, but I've been seeing people pretty receptive to him, so I'm really excited to see just how the movie does, and if it pops that character up a few notches in terms of tier.
Fuck yes. Someone made a really interesting point on a podcast that Swamp Thing, ironically, has gotten more attention in both live action, pop culture than almost any other DC character. Wonder Woman's gotten one movie and one show. Swamp Thing has gotten an animated, and this isn't to refute what you're saying, it's just weird that the character isn't the biggest, because he's gotten an animated series, he's gotten 3 movies of live action series. He got, it's just nuts the amount of content that character has gotten. I think most of that time where those things were produced were outside of anyone knowing he was a DC character. He was 1971, Bernie Wrightson and Len Wein was the first run. And then after that, so Saga of the Swamp Thing is the penultimate, that's the Alan Moore kind of masterpiece of Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk out of my depth, because Swamp Thing really isn't one of my
it's all right.
main characters, but I am really excited for the movie, and Swamp Thing is a character that is really on my list that I want to read more.
The monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now.